Americans are being fooled into believing that we are not in a recession. Check this out. So this one's from the Kobesi letter. First, we had 2 recessions in 3 years. Then they changed the definition of recession. Second, we had lower than expected inflation. Then they revised CPI higher. Remember, we call it the CPI lie. And for this reason right here. Third, inflation was higher than expected. Then they changed the CPI calculation. What comes next? Let me break this down for you guys. So there's two things here that are going to be inevitable, and that's going to be the dollar being devalued, and then eventually the United States having to default on that debt obligation. Remember, 30 trillion in debt, but over 100 trillion in unfunded liabilities. How do you think we're going to be able to pay that back? But what happens in the meantime is we get to see how long the party lasts. And what does that mean for average Americans? How long will your dollar be devalued before we ultimately have to default on the debt and reset and restructure our debt and currency? Now, the really unfortunate part of this situation is it's all fun and games to say that our government is broke, bust, and they're eventually going to have to default. It's all fun and games until reality hits America, which is now starting to arrive. And that is the loss of jobs. We're seeing a record amount of layoffs coming in. Okay. We're seeing pensions get wiped out, 401ks getting destroyed. And then now, because the interest rates have been kept high and they're going to remain high for a while here, this is going to pop the real estate bubble as you're seeing real estate prices already starting to come down. And real estate's the primary way that Americans have built their wealth or preserved their wealth here in America. So we have the destruction of wealth through real estate, 401ks, pensions, the loss of jobs. And then when you go to the grocery store, you're going to be paying twice as much if you even can find it on the shelf. So it's a very dicey situation here in the United States. While they're determining that we're still not in a recession yet, can we define it as a recession? Does that offend anybody? We are on the highway to hell as Americans, folks. And so that's why we got to be tapped in. We got to have a plan. And that's what we break down on this show every single day. Make sure you guys are subscribed and following this channel where we talk about current events, cryptocurrency, and the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. Let's help you guys survive and thrive this crisis that America faces right now that is not going away. And I know many people think that it's just all fine and dandy. We're always going to have the reserve currency. We got the biggest military. It's going to be a good time forever. Put some more burgers on the barbecue and give me another cold one. This party's coming to an end, folks. Be prepared.